I'm standing right now in 1/4 of room 5 at Chimney Rock, and you can see the rest of the wall is this masonry that goes around like this.
This pueblo behind me here is Chimney Rock. It's about 7,600 feet, I believe, which is very, very high for one of these places. This is a real classic textbook case of a Chacoan outlier, where Chaco Canyon is about 140 kilometers, about 90 miles, something like that direction. And Chaco is a capital city, and this is like the county seat, and there are 150, 200 of these dotted all over the southwest. This is the northeasternmost, by far, of all the Chaco outlying great houses, Chaco outliers. Chimney Rock is unique in several ways. It's location. Atop this very, very high sandstone ridge, looking out at the Chimney Rock and Companion Rock, those twin towers out at the end. It's a marvelous archaeological site because of the setting, but also because it was not reoccupied after the end of the Chaco era. Most of the great houses in the northern southwest, because there were many from here over to Bluff, Utah, where the University of Colorado worked for years at the Bluff Great House. They continued to be used after 1135 and 1120, 1135 when Chaco ceases to be the capital. This one is a one-shot deal. So they came out here, they built this thing, and when they left, they left. So we were looking at the pottery last night, it's all at Chaco period stuff. But the design style on that, with these parallel running bands of crosshatcher, is something that's called Dagoji style, after Dagoji Wash in Arizona. And it's characteristic of the pottery in many parts of the southwest, northern southwest, when Chaco was at its height. We have a small team of very talented graduate students from the University of Colorado, and they've been just a great crew in terms of getting things done, but it's also a tremendous opportunity for them because this is a famous site. Probably no one will work here again in our lifetimes or their lifetimes.
Chaco is a big deal in the Southwest, especially in archaeological communities, and you know, it's really rare that you get a chance to excavate a Chacoan outlier site. So yeah, this is definitely the highlight of my career at this point.
And it's actually kind of cool. We had a couple of subfloor features. This right here was some sort of fire hearth.
To be able to work out here, you know, not only is it, you know, the opportunity to work at such a great site like Chimney Rock, but also since I am a Southwest archaeologist and I work in the northern San Juan area, you know, just being able to work at this site, sort of, you know, everything worked out great.
It's an amazing opportunity to be able to work at the Great House. Work at the Great House has happened 2 previous times, in the 1920s, in the 1970s, and now. And so the next go-around may be another 30 years before anybody works in the Great House. So it's a huge opportunity to be able to excavate here. And Chimney Rock is a unique site, just sort of adds to that experience.
The site is really exciting to me, actually. I got my bachelor's degree at Fort Lewis in Durango, and I always visited here and just thought it was an amazing site just because it's so beautiful and it just seemed really special. I mean, the landscape is spectacular, and it's just a really great Chacoan outlier. And it's always intrigued me because we don't know a ton about it.
But the big surprise was that the room had not been cleaned out prior to abandonment. So there was, in fact, lots of trash piled up in my side, and in Allison's side of the room there was a whole vessel sunk into the floor. There were a couple other vessels that appeared to have been sitting around the edge of the room, and then the roof came down and crushed them. Some
of the coolest things to come out of this field season were not so much objects, although we did plenty of those, but getting a good look at the architecture, because most of this ruin has been stabilized, which means it's been glued back together, so it'll keep on standing so people can come see it. There's very few of these walls here that haven't been treated historically, but we're actually able to see original Chacoan walls exactly the way they built them.
This wall and the wall right back here are what we call a butt-in. So they were added onto this. This wall was here, and then they built these walls onto it. So we think that, you know, this wall may have been just a nice sort of shelter to, you know, as they were building the rest, expanding the great house.
It's in line with my research interests, which are in Chaco and its influences in the greater Southwest, but it's also an incredible experience. I've worked in 4 continents, and this is one of the most beautiful sites and settings, and the most gifted and smart crew that I've ever gotten to work with.